What a story. Did you read?
Unbelievable.
Amazing story.
Holy mackerel.
What happened? He said, what magazine you reading?
PWI. What else?
Pro Wrestling
The
Illustrated.
only magazine
Wait a
edited by Stu Sachs.
Wait a minute. This is Stu Sachs's last column is in here. It's in here. It's in this from the desk of,
I know.
and there it is.
It's sad, isn't it?
Down the
His
bottom.
last column after 41 years in the business.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Who am I? Who are you?
I know who I am.
Who's
Okay.
on first?
What?
No, what's on second?
I don't know.
That's third base. Thank you.
So I had this
Now, I'm sure people have figured it out already because you are broadcasting from Actors Alley.
so then
We know who you are.
but where are you broadcasting from?
I am broadcasting from parts unknown.
Oh
But
my
because we are broadcasting in the era of COVID-19, we've been advised to wear masks.
That is true, which is
So
why
we have to take
which is
precautions.
why I'm doing this.
This is
And
very
I'm
important. Yes.
You know what? We're here. I'll tell you what. What we used to do in the office when we worked
Yes.
together, to get a mask off someone, you had to pound somebody. So let me see if I can do this. Ah, 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 good, yeah, yeah,
Ah!
ah.
Oh,
Craig Peters. I
oh
knew
my
it,
goodness.
sucker. I reckon
Wow.
those glasses. You're glaring worse than my comb over here.
That's impossible.
It is.
A
It's
little
terrible.
powder on that thing.
Welcome to the After Chat. And you know, you've been here live down in Aptors Alley
I have.
quite a few times, but today,
Today's an amazing day. It really
June
is.
5th, 2020.
It's June 5th. Yep, June 5th. Today is, as we are recording this, Stu
5:18
Sachs is spending his last moments as publisher of Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
No, gone. 4:30. He
What's
allegedly.
there? Oh, it's after 4. He's
Yeah.
gone. It happened already.
Now we had a camera crew there. However, he went out the other door.
He did.
Yeah.
Ah.
But all these memories that you and I, how many years did you work under
Well,
Stu?
I was there for 15 years, from 81 until 96.
Okay.
And so I came in a couple of years after PWI began.
So at the point that you came in, Stu had not been raised up to the head editor already.
Not yet. No, Peter King was still there. But,
Yeah.
I think PWI had a couple of issues under its belt. We were doing PWI, The Wrestler, Inside Wrestling,
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling Superstars, Sports Review Wrestling,
Your personal.
all the annuals,
Yeah.
some quarterlies, some other magazines came along after that.
Yeah.
And I was actually, I spent the day, well, I didn't spend the whole day today, but I spent a chunk of the day today watching PWI podcast episode number 146
It's
on
amazing.
YouTube,
Yeah.
which is all about Stu and his career. And you and I get a couple of mentions in there,
Yeah. But
and some farewell messages from a few well-known coworkers mixed in there, which I don't want to spoil the surprise, but there's a good one.
But wait a minute, there's something amazing going on here because I didn't, you're real? Craig Peters is not a fictional character?
I am not a fictional character.
Shocked.
And Stu Sachs is not a fictional character. People
I'm
thought he was.
absolutely
A lot of
shocked.
people actually thought he was.
Yeah,
Dan Schocken was not. Eddie Elner is not.
Yeah. Brandy Menkiewicz is
Randy
not.
Menkiewicz, that's right.
Which said her name right. But today is in honor of that, Stu, you and me we made that move along with some of the art people, Joe Callan,
Yes.
to Pennsylvania. And we were you editorially, the three of us became the, would you mind doing three horsemen? I know you always had a problem counting. It's terrible. Never was able to do the three thing. But yeah, we
Do that like Ole.
today, though, in my estimation, I'm sure the magazine is going to be in great hands with
Absolutely.
Kevin McElhaney.
Absolutely.
but it's the end of a nostalgic era that I don't think will ever be repeated in the history of publishing the type of magazines that we did: wrestling, boxing, puzzles, Golden West magazines,
Country Beat.
Country Beat. Yes, yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Remember?
Of course, remember
right.
another magazine, but it was the wrestling magazines that, in honor of Stu today, Craig and I have decided that many times when we were on Pro Wrestling Illustrated press conferences in Georgia Championship Wrestling, just for the heck of it, we dressed in aloha shirts, Hawaiian shirts. So we decided, in tribute to Stu today, to make like we're back in those days again. So it still fits.
That's right. I'm interviewing Stu. He couldn't be here, but I have his stand-in.
Actually, I have his stand-in here.
Okay. So, chucklehead.
Right. Al Snow knows them very well. So what I wanted to do is, I know you have some Stu stories you'd probably like to tell people.
I do. Well, the one thing I am quick to mention about those days, and when I say those days, I mean really, I started in '81, and I'm talking '81 through sort of the rock and wrestling stuff, and maybe '87, '88. To me, that was really the core of my 15 years. Wait a minute.
Hold on. Keep the people busy for a minute. Go
okay.
Talk among yourselves.
Wait, where'd he go? Bill, where'd he go?
Yeah.
If we're still recording this, no, very seriously,
we are. We are.
The only real. Look at this, the Rock and Wrestling Connection.
You mentioned this, and I rarely get to show it.
That's awesome. But the thing I think, like you just mentioned a minute ago, what we had as sort of the three of the four horsemen, and everybody else that was there, of course, through the years, and we had an amazing staff. And it was amazing for magazine publishing, but it was amazing for any kind of entertainment. And the best analogy I've come up with over the years is the writer's room. Now, I'm really going to show my age, and if you guys are into cultural history, look it up. If you never heard of this, look it up on Wikipedia. But the writer's room for Sid Caesar's Show of Shows. You had amazing people, and there's a great documentary out there called Caesar's Writers. And you had Mel Brooks was one of them, and Woody Allen was in there, and you had his name escapes me at the moment, but he went on to create MASH, and just an amazing group of talent. And you can just imagine what the creativity and energy was like for them, and that's what it felt like for us. There was just an amazing creativity and energy that I have never experienced elsewhere in my career.
Wait a minute, I'm going to give you a nostalgia kick. Fridays, about 4:00, what did we yell out?
Headlines!
Headlines, and we would sit around Stu's desk or Peter King's desk back then, and we would come up with headlines. But I want to have Stu on here eventually, like the whole group of us talking about those days. But there's so many.
Well, I know you have a million stories because you were there. I was only there 15 years, and you were there how many? You were there before me and after.
I started in 1970.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
So, but I know even just during the 15 years I was there, there's that story of like when you and Stu went to the Garden and bumped in. Remember that time? You used to tell us all the time. You viewers of this are going to love this story. Tell the story.
The after chatters have not heard this story.
No, it's amazing.
All right. So Stu was new in the business.
And then there was the time that like you and Stu, I think it was on a Thanksgiving for a Starcade thing. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, that was down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
In Charlotte, right. And there was the whole, tell that story. That was unbelievable.
The thing with the woman?
Yes.
Okay, well, I hope his wife's not watching this. So, Darlene, if you are. So we were checking into the hotel, and this gorgeous...
and then there was the time that Dan Severn came up to the office. Remember that with the office magic? Remember the thing Stu did with the... Yes. Remember that? Amazing story. You got to hear the story. After chatters, you got to hear the story.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bill.
All right. Let me tell
Great
the story.
Okay. Love this story.
Dan Severn, UFC champion, sees this and wants to.
You know what, Bill? I got to say one thing though. There's a problem with this after chat.
Wait. What?
There's a problem. You know what your problem is?
What?
You never finish a story.
Have a nice retirement, Stu.
We love you, Stu. Great times, great memories, and best of luck on the next chapter and everything that comes. I hope it's nothing but happiness and joy.
I had so many stories I wanted to tell. Thanks, Craig.